You're seeing beautiful snow-covered Old Lyme, Connecticut. And at this house, there's a swing set in the backyard, and that says that a child lives here at this house. Actually, it's more like several thousand. Our super collector has adopted several thousand Annalee dolls, and we're going to see him and meet this super collector, a candidate for Mother of the Year today.
They are beautiful mobile dolls. They're handmade, hand painted, and you can actually move them around. But you remember yesterday, John, our super collector Sherwin, he had, Planters Peanut memorabilia. You remember?
Right.
And I fell in love with that Mr. Peanut doll.
That's right.
I've got a new
Got
friend.
another one.
I can't get away from these dolls. They're absolutely beautiful. And this is our super collector, Sue Coffee. Sue has thousands, John. I mean, literally thousands. So many Annalee dolls that you can't even count anymore. How did you get started collecting these dolls?
Well, my mom used to get them in the early 70s, one every year if she could afford it. And they were always in the house on the mantle. And I started giving to her as gifts. I drove UPS and I'd pick them up on my route and bought a few extra one year. And I just started keeping them for myself. And it just snowballed.
John and Claire, what you're seeing right now is 1/100th of Sue Coffee's collection. So stick around because when we come back, we're going to be going downstairs, learning more about these hand-painted, handcrafted, mobile, beautiful Annalee mobility dolls. Well, Sue Coffee, our super collector, is a woman after my own heart. Do you know why?
Why?
She shops every day. She's not shopping for furniture or clothes. You're actually purchasing Annalee dolls every day.
All the time I had people call. By the way, John, my neighbor just called and she thinks you're gorgeous.
We can't get away from him now. But you shop every day purchasing Annalee dolls, and you have thousands, but you've only been collecting since 1988.
Yeah.
So that must mean that you buy more than one Annalee doll per day.
Yeah, sometimes 40, 50 at a whack.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
if I
Let's
have
start
to.
over here because this is one of your earliest pieces. Tell us what's special about this Annalee doll.
Well, Annalee was probably early 20s when she made it. It doesn't have the wire like the newer ones. It's stuffed with raw cotton, and she did this herself.
And so now Annalee is in her 80s, so this was done almost 60 years ago.
Yes,
Pan
late 30s.
right down here, cameraman Lou, because this is one of your favorite pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Why is this one of your favorite pieces?
Well, I love the face. I love the way the eyes are, and the workmanship that went into this loom. Annalee's husband probably made the loom, and he put a lot of work into it. And it was probably a special order.
And John and Claire, we have a question for the appraisers because Sue was wondering whether or not this is a one-of-a-kind piece or if it's a special piece. Because Sue, you've never seen a piece like this before.
No,
Oh,
never.
let's find out. Let's see what the appraisers think.
Actually, it kind of looks like a display item, something that was meant to display the dolls, perhaps in a store.
Have you seen one like this before?
No, not like this
Yeah,
particular
that
one.
is my hunch. A display item, specialty made. I've never seen anything like this.
Speaking of display, come over here because this is a very special piece, and it was, in fact, a display piece made by Annalee herself.
Yes, someone made a special order, came to her house and asked her to make this. And
May I touch it?
oh, sure, pick it
Wait,
up.
when you're going to find out how much it's worth, you may not want to touch it.
Right here by the bell.
Oh, by here.
Yeah,
Right, let me let you do it. I'm scared.
Okay.
Now, this piece is worth how much, Sue?
I paid $6,200 for it at the auction.
Wow.
I love to water ski, and I've been trying to get up on one ski since 1979. And this summer, I said, being over 40, I'm going to learn. I spent 5 days doing it. And when I got up on one, it was just before the Annalee auction. So when I saw him, I said, I got to have
Hey,
it.
that's great.
And wait, by the way, you haven't been able to get up since 1979?
On one ski.
Oh,
I was drop a
okay.
ski.
Now, these skis were made by Annalee's husband, and I see that there's a signature on them. Did
Yes.
he sign
He
these?
signed them after the auction, yeah, and I'm going to go back up and have him sign them because he made the skis.
Okay, so I'll let you put that back carefully. As I show you very briefly, that a lot of these dolls, what makes them special is that they're mobile. They're called Annalee mobility dolls because you can actually move them around. There's a special wire inside, is there not?
Yes, yeah, her husband invented that. That's what he contributed to it, and all the props. He does all the props.
Okay, something special about these dolls is that they have a holiday theme about them. Over here behind us, there's a Christmas theme. To the right, there is a Halloween theme, and there's even a green St. Patrick's theme. So did Annalee, was she very involved with holidays, or
Yeah, she originally started, she had a holiday series. She did Valentine's, St. Patrick's, Valentine's Day, and now Christmas is her busiest line because probably that's when most people use for decorating and spending the money.
Right, and that's when you probably bought about, 300 in a day.
I buy one of everyone.
You're a club member now, and so is your adorable daughter. Maybe we'll get to see her a little bit later. And there's an insider magazine called Collector. Tell us briefly about the club and the object that you get once you become a club member.
Well, you join the club. It started in 1985, and this was the first club piece. The present day one is this little boy here, and you get a pin, and you get the Collector magazine, and you get the doll.
And you also get the right to go to the auctions, which is
Go
great
to their
because you
auction.
purchased one of your favorite pieces there. We're going to come back here to Old Lyme in a couple minutes, John and Claire, and we're going to learn about how to date your Annalee doll. It's very interesting. It's a special method. So if you're interested in Annalee, stick around because dating Annalee dolls when we come back in just a couple minutes.
That's great. And Sue, did you say that you're not sure how many actual dolls you have? Or do we know?
No, I couldn't. I don't think I could get it within 1,000. I can't even count anymore.
That
Leave
is.
the shopper. Leave the shoppers alone. You're gorgeous.
That's your shopping time.
Sue, that is a great collection. And you know what, Sue?
Well,
You're gorgeous. Thank,
Thank you.
thank you so much for showing us.
And Claire is gorgeous and beautiful herself. We
All
can't forget
right.
Claire.
Yeah, look, I'm looking forward to seeing how to date these things because this is all new to me. So thank you very much for showing us that. Appreciate that.
Well, I said, John, if you want to date an Annalee doll, send us some flowers and a bottle of wine. But Sue tells me that there's another message, starting with the tag. Now, this is very precious information because even the company sometimes can't tell you. So start off by telling us with this Santa doll. Let's look at the underside of the tag. Can you guys see it?
Sure can.
Sue, tell us about how we can identify the date from this tag.
well, the date on the tag on the early ones is it's just a copyright date. This is 50s and it has no copyright date, but the machine embroidered gets it into the 50s and 60s period.
Okay, what about some of these ones? Let's
Okay,
get
the
down here. This is a
okay.
folded tag. What does
folded
that mean?
machine embroidered was 60 through 69 or 70,
This is folded, but it has a silky texture. What year is it from?
70 through 74,
Over here is a longer tag, and what year does that represent?
75 through 82.
Okay, a longer folded tag, which is kind of rough textured.
That's from 82 and up.
And the last one,
In 87, they started putting the actual year plus the copyright.
year plus the copyright. You can also tell another way, John and Claire, is from the fabric. Now, this fabric came from a very specific year. All the dresses and the stockings, everything were made out of this fabric. What year fabric did this come from?
That's in 1979,
Moving along to the flowered beige fabric,
That's
also
sev-
in the stocking.
77.
And over here, the red sort of handkerchief. I used to wear
Right.
that on my head. as a kid,
Bandana
this
print,
handkerchief
yes.
print. What year is that from?
That's 70.
Oh,
78. 78.
Sue? 78?
No, wait a minute. 76. Excuse me.
76?
76.
And you're right. Okay, 76. This comes from 76. So you can tell basically two ways. You want to look at the fabric. For example, I'd look at this one, and this one would be from 76.
77.
77, but this is 76 fabric.
No, 77.
Oh, 77 fabric. Okay, so you just look at the different pieces of fabric and tell, and also by paying attention to the tag, the texture, whether it's folded, whether it's long or short, you can also tell the date of the doll.
Right.
Okay, thank you so much, Sue. A lesson in Annalee dolls for all those Annalee enthusiasts.